Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito.
And we are
the Carbonation Conversation.
Reviewing House of the Dragon, Episode 7.
Driftmark.
And before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. We see you out there. We are... Not only did we post our 100th episode, we are still getting new people from new places. So I want to say shout out to Vermont.
Shout out.
Vermont, you?
No.
I'm just saying.
No.
Okay. And shout out to Belgium. We actually got some people from Belgium. And now I think all these beers Belgian that we're drinking today, I don't know. Are they? I know yours is.
Well, yeah, they're all from the same company. So
yeah. So yeah, you're drinking your Stella. I'm drinking my Lafayette.
Lafayette, I guess.
Just say Lafayette. That's all I want to say.
You just want to say Fifi.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, definitely follow us, like us, ring that bell. Send us some shout outs on Instagram or Facebook. We've been trying to wrap up the post and all of that. So if you got some new beers that you're drinking or any beers that you're drinking, hit us up. Tag us with your happy new beer. That'll be awesome.
Send a pic.
Yeah, exactly. That would be really, really awesome. But yeah, let's get into it. I will say, I guess this one I kind of did-ish map it out, but when it came to certain things, I just mixed them all together, so I don't want you to be mad if we're like at this point where a lot of characters are doing different shit, and I just go, well, yeah, he's doing this, and he's doing this, and he's doing this, and it's like, it's not the fucking order, Melvin, it's not the fucking order.
That's right, I'm not drunk yet.
Yeah, it's probably going to be somewhat of that. But I will say, because, I mean, truth be told, we have watched mostly all the episodes at this point now. So when I'm rewatching these episodes, I'm just like, okay, I see. Which is just interesting to me. But and I'll say a few little things about that. But anyways, Driftmark starts off with Lena's funeral, and it's fucking tragic and heartbreaking.
Yeah, basically everybody's there. Mm-hmm. Everybody's there. You see Otto was once again the hand. Yeah,
I'm liking how we weren't told that. He just kind of moves his shirt and fixes his little symbol. Yeah,
like, you
dick. But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, it's funny because they bury theirs in the water. Mm-hmm. It's just like how Targaryens set theirs on fire.
Yes.
So it's kind of opposite.
Yeah, and like you said, we have everybody there. We have fucking, like you said, Otto. We have Alicent. We have the King. We have Rhaenyra. Obviously, Daemon is there. Laenor is distraught. And basically the rest of the Valyrian family. It's interesting to me how I didn't catch Vaemon's words. Like, I knew what he was saying because that was Vaemon who was kind of giving the eulogy speech.
Yeah.
But I didn't catch what I caught the second time watching it. And what I caught was when he was like, our blood is ours. Our blood is ours. And he gave Rhaenyra a look. Yeah. I didn't catch that.
Oh, you did it? Yeah.
And then I didn't know that Daemon caught him getting her a look, and that's why he started laughing. I honestly, when I first watched it, I thought he was just laughing because he's just, he's mourning too, and that was just Daemon being Daemon. But I didn't realize when Vaemon said they gave her a look, and then he's just like, yeah. Even politics now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like, oh, this is the best time for this.
I know, right? I didn't notice that. How
dare you? No.
Yeah. And we have multiple characters in this, like, for it to be, I want to say, a 10, maybe at the most 20-minute scene with, this whole funeral scene where they were up there, it was a lot going on. Like I said, Laenor is broken.
Yeah, he seems like he's taking it the hardest.
Yes, he's in the water down there just looking at the waves.
Yeah, Corlys sees him, he's all pissed. He goes to Laenor's boyfriend, like, go get his ass.
Yeah, he's like, I think his name is Carl, maybe, but he's like, get your patron now. He makes it seem Vaemon has to call him down. We have Laena's kids, Baela and I want to say, damn it. I know I wrote them down. I was trying to say them from the top of my head. Yeah. I know one is Baela and Rhaena. I think that's how you pronounce the other's name. Rhaena, they're devastated. Rhaenyra asks Jace to go, just give his condolences. But Jace does say something very intelligent. He's like, I want to mourn too. Like, I didn't get a chance to mourn Sir Harwin. Like, why do I have to go give my condolences to them? And she's just like, hey, calm down. You got to do your duty. Exactly. And he does go over there and comfort the girls. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's just, you see, getting, he knows, you know what I mean? And it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. And it even seems like his younger brother knows as well.
I don't think he really knows like that. You don't think
okay.
Because he kind of said something, but it came to the fact, what are you guys talking about? What's going on?
Okay, cool. Because I do want to ask you a question when it comes to, is Jace and Luke. Okay, yeah, Jace and Luke. Because, Lucerys. There was a scene there where Corlys is talking to him, and he's like, "You're gonna inherit Driftmark. Will be yours." And he's like, "I don't want this because everybody will be dead." I thought he kind of just meant that was my phone. Sorry. I thought he just kind of meant that he knows he's not, that, and that's why. Maybe it's fucking something else. Maybe he just noticed everybody's dying.
Right. Well, he's basically saying that in order for him to get it, other people have to die first.
Okay.
If I get this, that means everybody's dead.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because I was like, damn. I didn't know he knew about Sir Harwin too. But yeah, you make a good point. Who you want to go to next? Because they're still.
So basically, this is Viserys will say where he goes to Daemon. Mm-hmm. He sees Daemon, goes to him, and extends his hand and basically tells him he wants to come back home and give him a seat on the council. Mm-hmm. And Daemon's just like, I don't want shit from you.
And I will say Daemon did look a little bit very emotional when he said it, and he kind of walked off. Yeah. And it's just like, man, Daemon, the pride, man. He's so prideful. Yep. And even the king was like, come on, man, let our issues be gone within the years. I love the joke that Daemon told Viserys to Viserys is like, man, yeah, the gods can be, very cruel for taking your wife like they did mine. And he's like, Daemon goes, it seems like they've been especially cruel to your ass. Right. Have you seen? I didn't even know by episode 7. Oh yeah, I did. What am I saying? Because we talked about in episode 6 that he didn't have an arm. Because I was like, damn, I forgot he didn't have an arm. Jesus. But yeah, we also have. This is the first time, at least that I know, that Aemon and Aegon is actually talking about Helaena and the fact that Helaena is going to marry Aegon. Now, it's so interesting because I want to talk about Helaena briefly, but before I do that, I want to talk about Alicent because I remember her when they were younger telling Rhaenyra, I know you Targaryens have weird customs. ... No, y'all good incest, or were you fucking Daemon or not? When she was questioning that, and now she married Aegon and Helaena.
Right, her two kids. Right, like come on, really.
The only thing I want to say about Helaena now was there is a rumor going around with Helaena that she is, I guess, their version of like a possible prophet. They call her a green seer. And the only reason why I want to bring that up is because in episode 6, when they did the pig shit to Aemon, Alicent was talking to Aemon and said, you will get a dragon one day. And Helaena says, but you'll have to close an eye. I was like, really? Yes. I was like, why? And I noticed it the first time. I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? Why would she say that? And then towards the end of the episode, Yeah. So it does seem like Helaena could be, I would say, maybe Bronn-ish. Okay. She could maybe, I don't know as far as the past is concerned, but it does seem like she has some sort of sight in the future. And there is one other thing that she says, but we can get into that later, that is just like, okay. And back to Aemon and Aegon. Aegon is just like, I don't want to fucking marry her. If you see, she's fucking dumb as a bat.
Right. Exactly.
Aemon is like, if I was betrothed, I'd do my duty.
Yeah.
And you see Aegon's just getting fucking wasted. He's
just grabbing
flirting with
wine from everybody.
He's flirting with the, I guess you'd call them waitresses back in the day.
Slaves.
Yeah. Oh, I was trying to have a nice term. But yeah, he's talking to them, and he ends up getting wasted. Otto has to get him, and after things happen.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if we touched everybody on this thing, because there's obviously Rhaenys did go comfort Laena's daughters.
Yes.
That was a pretty that hit me. I don't want mom to go. That was pretty devastating. And then we have Rhaenyra just telling her kids it's time for bed. Like, go, you guys shouldn't really be here without my supervision.
Yeah. That's because she wanted to go off with Daemon.
Man.
Yeah. Real quick, Happy New Beard.
Yes.
We didn't say that.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Just realized it.
And so, I have to honestly ask you at this point, was that it in this little scene?
Yeah, that's it. We don't gotta go over every day.
No. I will say this: I did like it when Sir Otto put his condolences, and Daemon's response was, "No matter how much the leech eats, he still always wants for another meal." And I didn't know if Daemon was calling Otto the leech, or was Daemon just like, "Watch your fucking back." I don't know what he meant by that, but I thought that was just a cool ass line that he had. So, like you said, we're gonna talk about Daemon and Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Okay, so cool. After Otto brings Aegon up, Aemon does go downstairs because he hears what we believe is maybe dragons in general.
Yeah.
And we also see Rhaenyra and Daemon talking. This is what we mentioned in the previous episode about Laenor and Rhaenyra. Actually, they were trying.
Right.
And she does love him.
Yeah.
She is honest about that. But she just says, like, look, I wanted to feel wanted. I didn't want it to feel like it was just our duty.
A job type shit. Right. Because they said they tried. It just didn't feel right.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And Daemon even says, hey, Sir Harwood, I heard he was a great dude, kind of thing. I heard he was a good guy.
Right.
And this is where I was like, are they going to go there? Oh my God, they went there, dude. Like, Rhaenyra's just like, were you thinking about me? How much did you love Lane? And she was just like, I needed you. And he was just like, bro, like, I was actually trying to protect you by not being with you.
Exactly.
And she's just like, well, I'm grown now.
Yeah. And also, Daemon blames Harwin's death on Alicent and Otto. Like, puts it on Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra was just like, she's not a murderer. I can see her
she's
doing
not
it,
capable of doing that. Which, to be fair, Alicent was a little bit shocked that Laurys did
of
do
course,
that.
so it was not her idea. I do
yeah.
not blame her for that death.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, right. And basically, long story short, they have the most awkward, emotional sex scene, I think, in Game of Thrones history. And there have been some awkward ones, like when, Khal Drogo was just fucking Daenerys through the back, and she was just like, yeah. Was that rape? Like, basically. Yeah, but this was just like incest love. They had the music in the background. I was just like, should they be like doing this? Like they're not even uncle and niece. I mean, they made it seem like they were. This is supposed
to be the normal now.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember Jaime Lannister and his fucking sister?
Yeah, and what was their excuses with their face? Like, well, the Targaryens,
and they weren't even Targaryens.
Like, well, the Targaryens used to do that to keep the blood pure anyway. And then like, oh,
well,
but yeah, so they end up having sex. Meanwhile, Aemon ass finds Vhagar sleeping, no less, and he is definitely trying to go up to take the reins of Vhagar. I did like the fact that, Vagar woke up, looked at him like, what the fuck are you doing? And then goes back to sleep.
Right.
Like a big-ass dog looking at you like, yeah.
Nah, you ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah. And then he grabs the ladder and then Vagar starts to actually look like he's about to kill this boy. And he says in Valerian, stop. He's saying out commands. And it seems like Vagar is down with it.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, oh my God. Really? Really? And he gets on top and he says, hey, let's fly. And this was by far one of the best scenes in Game of Thrones history to me. Like, wow. Holding on for dear life. I almost thought he was going to die a couple of times. I really
she's gonna
did.
fall like, oh shit.
And he's hanging on. He finally gets on. I like the birds that come through. Almost hits him in the face. Going down to the water.
Yeah, it was a badass scene though. Like the vision and shit.
Fucking.
Even though I was like pissed at his ass. Like, you little bitch.
I know, right? And I'm just like, bruh. How could you even just survive all those dives? Like, just like, I'm just thinking like you on a roller coaster and shit. I've been throwing up and every fucking thing. But anyways, they recognize, a lot of, Daemon and Rhaenyra recognize that Vagar is, well, I don't know if they know it's Vagar. I would assume so because he's the biggest fucking dragon. Right. And then the kids also recognize it. So,
but before we get to that, before they land, we have Rhaenyra and what's his name? What's it?
Daemon?
No, not Rhaenyra. Rhaena on Corlys.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. Go ahead.
Well, they argue. He said basically that she basically tells her she should have been queen and all that.
Yes,
because he wants to go forward with everything. Yeah. And she's just like, don't you see that they're not your fucking blood type shit? And
exactly.
And he's just like, they don't care about blood, they care about names. So,
which is interesting because I don't know history like, back in the day, kings and queens history, but I will say you only remember names. Like I only remember names like King George, the 18th,
exactly.
80,000th one or whatever you want to call it.
Right, then that's when he basically says that she should have been queen, and she snaps and says, "Get over it. I did."
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And he wants legacy. He definitely wants it because she's her. Her daughter is dead. She felt like her daughter should have been there in Driftmark giving birth.
Exactly.
And she even says like, "Let's give Baela and Rhaenyra Driftmark instead of Luke." And that's when Corlys brings up the people don't remember blood, they remember names. So we can see where Rhaenys heart is. She's just like,
it's for your own ambition. Mm-hmm. He says it's about legacy. And like you said, you talk about Laena and it should pass the kids. Laena,
And I will say, the older you get, the more you do think about legacy, and either that can go one of two ways. Either you can just be like, I want people to remember me as this, just a good person, or fucking kids. Like it's, kids, or maybe like a fucking statue or a building named after you. The Ishmael Cologne Center. You know what I'm saying? That's my fucking legacy. But Corlys, he's, I'm just like, I get it, but at what expense? Like Rhaenys is saying. So meanwhile, while this is going on, Aemon is flying the dragon.
Yeah.
And
so Baela and Rhaena notice that the dragon's gone. Mm-hmm. They wake up Jace and Luke, and this is when they gather up and they see. This is when Aemon gets off of the dragon, and
he is
just walks
so
in.
high.
He just
different demeanor.
He is the shit now. He came from being the little bitch to I'm the shit. And
I would probably feel that same way.
I think he went too much, too far.
Oh, hell,
you know what I mean? It was like,
just
damn,
the biggest dragon.
Of course,
it's the biggest.
Of course.
Who go touch me, boo boo? Who go touch me, boo boo? I think it's who gonna check me. But anyways, he goes in and I forget which is the oldest between the girls. But the oldest, she says, "Hey, that was mine by right. You had no business." And Aemon is just like, "Well, you should have claimed."
She's dead, and maybe you should have claimed it.
And I'm just like, "Dang, bro, you went out there like immediately after the funeral. That was a little dirty."
Yes,
that was very fucking dirty. And a fight ensues because Aemon ends up calling them bastards. And you're absolutely right about Luke. Now I do remember he was like, "Oh, he doesn't know." He does say that, and that's when they start boxing. And it is like legit like a little kid's fight, with exception to Aemon knowing. Like, you can tell that he is way more trained.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's older, but he handled all 4 of them. I mean, they were giving him some go. I like when they knocked him down. And it's like,
all of them, yeah.
Pew, pew, pew.
But he got the better of them, and then was it Jace pulls out the knife first?
Yes, because I think he cracks Luke's nose.
Is
Luke the one he cracked?
He breaks Luke's nose, and then he picks up a rock, and he's gonna. But then Jace pulls out a knife, and then that's when Aemon mocks them about the father and calls them bastards, and that's he doesn't know. But then then they start fighting again, and then the knife falls from Lucerys, and then Jace drops the knife, and Lucerys picks it up, and then when Aemon's on top, ready to smash Jace's heads in, Jace's head in, and that's when Lucerys slices him.
I know somebody threw dirt in his eye. I don't know which fucking person.
Jace did, because he was on the ground, and that's when this guy had the rock, and he saw Lucerys had the knife.
Yes.
So when he was gonna look, he threw the dirt in his eye, and then Lucerys sliced his eye. Yeah.
Now, did you think it was that bad?
Oh, yeah.
I know that. Obviously, it's a Valyrian steel.
But to me, he lost his eye.
I was like, oh my God. And I was like, let me see it. I
already knew. I'm like, he's gonna lose an eye for that.
And then basically the commotion gets brought to, the center of Driftmark. Everybody's there. Alicent is just pissed off. Rhaenyra comes in with Daemon, and now we have, I don't even know if I guess it's a debate, or
it's just blaming. That's what it doesn't even a debate. It's just blaming each other. Alicent already has decided this is Rhaenyra's kid's fault, no matter what, because of her bias towards them.
Yes,
and that's what pissed me off. You know what I mean? It's like it was all your son, and no matter what, you're not going to ever hear that. You're just going to see these bastard kids in your eye, and everything is going to be their fault.
Yep, that's
true. What I noticed from there on. You know what I mean? Like, and that's like,
and Rhaenyra's kids tell him he called us bastards, and
so Rhaenyra decided to use it because it's treason.
Yep.
So let me bring this, since everybody's already fucking talking about it.
Yep. Let's bring it up. Let's talk about it.
Right.
And I did like Viserys. He was just like, Aemon, did you say this? Who told you this? And he's kind of sorry, looking at mama.
He looked at mom first, and then says, Aemon.
Aegon goes,
Aegon, right.
What? Aegon goes, he's like, that was the realest, most truthful thing. Like, he's like, what? Me? And then he goes to Aegon, and he goes, Aegon, where did you hear this from? And then he goes, we know.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. And I do like the fact that Viserys never questioned that. He never said okay and handled that situation.
Yeah,
he responds, we're a family.
We're a family. Let's just stop all this fighting type shit.
Exactly. We should not be doing this. And to be quite honest, he is right.
Yeah, apologize and move on type shit.
Yeah, and it's so funny because it does remind me of Game of Thrones season 1, where Arya sliced little bitch arm. I forget his name. It's been so long.
I forget.
Joffrey. Oh. Joffrey's arm. And no, I don't think he sliced Joffrey's arm, but he was about to stab Arya, but Arya's direwolf came and bit his arm. And the king was just like, what would you have me do? I can't believe you got unarmed by a girl. And that's the first thing he told Joffrey. And then Xerxes goes, well, what about the wolf? Kill the fucking wolf. And that's what ends up happening. So in this situation, Alicent is just pissed. And Viserys goes, what would you have me do? I cannot give him another eye. And she is distraught at this point.
Like, well, I want an eye for an eye.
Yes, and he is just like, no. And
she even demands Christian Cole to go get the eye.
Yes.
And then apparently he has some kind of standard.
Exactly.
He's like, he won't do that one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here to protect you, queen, type shit.
It's so funny because even though he said that, I still fucking hated that bitch because when Allison was like, well, what about Lanar? Shouldn't he have a say in the matter? When they were questioning whether or not the kids were bastards, and you see Cole and the Lord Commander looks at him and he goes,
right.
And I'm just like, that bitch ass nigga. Like, I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah, he's pissing me off. Like, he's too mad of this shit. He's starting to piss me off more than anyone because it's like, all right, just because you got fucked and left. I mean, really? You still mad?
For all we know, this was one time they had sex.
Yeah, it was the one fucking time.
And like, you're this fucking mad.
You're that mad. I broke my vow. I vowed not. Shut the fuck up.
After you kill old boy Joffrey for no reason, like, you broke your vows again, and now you still think you deserve some shit. Yeah, he blows me. He blows the fuck out of me too. I'm surprised. I mean, I'm pretty sure if Viserys was stronger and healthier, he would have. And I'm not condoning this one I'm about to say. But back in those days, like Robert Baratheon did Xerxes, I'm surprised he didn't smack the shit out of her when she was like, "This is insufficient."
Well, but he's not that type of person.
Yeah, that's
at the same
true.
Time.
I'm just saying it was back in the day. I'm just
remember,
like, can somebody please shut her the fuck up?
They're trying to compare him to Ned. Remember?
Yeah. And so
he's basically he's like, the matter is over, and when he turns, she grabs the Valyrian dagger and starts going towards Lucerys, but Rhaenyra grabs her fucking hand instead. And
it all comes out here. I think me and you even discussed this episode 6. She's just like, look at you. Like, Alicent is telling Rhaenyra, she's just like, I had to do my part for family.
I did my duty.
Yeah, like for
and
everything.
You did whatever the fuck you wanted to do.
Basically. And then Rhaenyra goes, she said something along the lines, it's like, isn't it interesting how you've been hiding your own feelings under your cloak?
It must have been exhausting hiding behind the cloak of your own righteousness.
Yes.
But now they see you for who you are.
Exactly. And I was like, damn. And she slices Rhaenyra's wrist. So obviously we're almost done with the story. So I'm just want to ask you, any shout outs you're thinking at this moment?
I'm gonna give a shout out to the kids.
I was actually gonna go. I was gonna go Aemon. I was like, bro, a G. Yeah. And he even says, he's like, Mom, it's okay. I may have lost an eye,
but I gained a dragon.
And it is the biggest, most powerful dragon in Westeros. Like, gotta give it to that little dude.
Exactly.
I'm just like, can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at that. But so I have to do
the whole kid fight scene, all that shit.
That was actually pretty cool too.
So shout out to that.
Mm-hmm. So, we go two ways with this. And by the way, I do want to mention that Laurie's ass during the funeral was staring at fucking Alicent, all like creepy old guy at the end. And Christian Cole was just like, hey, he's kind of said, she's like, oh, that's just because, he became the Lord in Harrenhal. It's like, no.
Nah, something else.
So, yeah, he likes you. But anyways.
So, basically next day, Alicent is feeling guilty.
Yes.
And of how she handled it. But Otto loved it. Otto loved it.
Yeah,
He's like, at first I didn't think you had it into for you to win this. Mm-hmm. But now I know you do, type shit. And he was like, and Aemon's right.
Yeah.
He lost an eye, but anybody would have given that eye up for something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And he even says like, hey, like in time, he will heal. I mean, the king
will forgive you. Right. Hold your feeling, and in time we will prevail.
And I'm just like, oh my God, I cannot wait. I'm pretty sure Otto gonna die like the last season or some shit. I hope he dies in the next couple of episodes or some shit.
So then she meets up with Larys. and he offers to get the eye.
Yeah, and
if it's an eye you want, I got you, girl.
Yeah,
I got you.
I know, and I was just like, really, bitch, really?
Yeah, he was like, no,
we're good.
But your loyalty will not be forgotten.
Yes. Now on the flip side, we do have Rhaenyra. She's getting stitched up, and then Laenor shows up as usual. For the last couple episodes, like, it's only took one previous episode to know that this motherfucker always just showed up after shit happened.
But this time, apparently, he's all feeling bad about I feel guilty. I'm not being there. This motherfucker's leaving for war, and I am going to devote myself to being a husband and father.
I will say I felt that scene.
Yeah.
I really, really felt that scene. And she even looked like she felt it to a certain degree. So
then when she meets with Damon,
apparently not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it ended up good, but I thought they were actually going to kill his ass. That's why I was like, damn, girl, like after that scene, you're going to fucking kill him?
And it was so funny. Even towards the end of the episode, again, I don't know what the fuck is up with my TV, but I'm not the only person that's had complaints about sometimes how dark Game of Thrones is, because when the last scene when they're on the boat, I didn't know that was him. I just thought that was some servant taking him to the ship.
When he cut his hair? He didn't
I didn't know. I was on my laptop with more brightness. Like, oh my fucking God.
Really?
Yes, my TV is low. I'm sure it ain't like your bright ass TV, because when I watch your shit, I be like, damn, this is bright as hell. Like, I see the dark within the dark. And now why my shit ain't like that.
It's like it's a window.
but yeah, so
yeah, basically Rhaenyra and is talking to Damon and basically say that she needs him and she wants him to stay and she wants to marry him, and he's like, the only way that could happen if Laenor's dead.
Yeah.
And then she gives a look. That's why I'm just like, what?
I know, and even their conversation is just, it's sometimes the truth is just in plain sight, because when they talk about it, they goes, man, Corlys and Rhaenys, that means they will lose another child. And then Damon says something along the lines of, if you love him,
that too. Like, he says that too. Like,
he's like, if you love him, set him free. And I was just like, dang, they're fucking dirty. Like, it didn't even click to me.
Because everything that happened, because after he said that, after the scene, he basically goes to Laenor's boyfriend,
I believe his name is Carl. We're gonna call him Carl.
Carl, good old Carl.
Yeah.
And basically tells him that he needs to basically kill Damon and make an audience of it, type shit. So it was just like, damn, that's fucked up. We're gonna make him do it. Then you get to a scene where you see Damon just kill some random dude on the stairwell.
I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
I was just like, I guess he's just making sure
that he can get through and kill him.
What I thought, you know what I mean?
That's the same thing I was thinking as well.
So then you see the scene where they do the fight, and there's a kid with them.
She runs off, and by the time she runs off, Laenor, quotation, is in the fire pit, basically.
Exactly.
And I felt so bad for Rhaenys.
I know.
My God.
Corlys and Rhaenyra are devastated.
And Corlys, how did this happen in I forget what they call that, main hall. In my main hall, how did this happen? And we see Damon and Rhaenyra. They're basically doing the thing. I'm assuming that was a Targaryen style.
Yeah, straight up Targaryen style.
Yeah, I was just like, man, you gotta cut each other so goddamn much. I mean, damn. They had both sets of kids there. They had Baela, Rhaena, Luke, and Jace, and then I'm assuming
and Joffrey somewhere around. Baby Joffrey. Remember, there's a third one.
Oh shit, I totally forgot. Yeah, damn. You know who has another one too? Fucking Alicent. Technically, she has 4 kids. I didn't fucking know that either. I was just reading something. I was like, oh shit, wow, okay. But they're getting married, and is the last scene with Laenor leaving? Did we?
I wrote down Laenor leaving with and then the wedding happened.
Okay, and then the
That's
wedding
what I
happened.
have written down. So I think, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was
That's
just
the
curious.
end either way.
I didn't know if
so
we
you see
skipped
Lenore
something.
shades his head.
Yes.
He gets on a boat with Carl, and they get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
They want to go live their life and blah blah blah. But
Which
it
is awesome.
You know what I mean? But it is like you said. I feel bad for Raina.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I was like, damn. You know, like these
Yeah.
are both her kids type shit. And
Now, in the book, he actually dies. They don't say how technically he dies, but they say it could have been a beef with Carl. You know, Carl was very jealous, something like that. I am just interested because now it's like free reign with his story personally.
Yeah.
If we're gonna see him again,
Yeah.
if he's gonna come back, because now he's gone. I'm pretty sure he's not taking sea smoke because that would be so obvious. Like a guy, right, black guy riding a dragon.
Yeah.
Even though he's so I'm assuming sea smoke is up for grabs now. And I'm just curious if Rhaenyra would ever tell Rhaenys like, hey, he's alive.
Yeah.
This is what we had to do. I know you're gonna hate me, but you still have a kid that's alive. That type of thing. But other than that, the only other thing I wanted to say about Helena, because Helena says a lot of extra shit, and the one thing she did say for episode 7 was hand turns loom, spoil of green, spoil of black, dragon flesh, weaving dragons of thread. So when I heard that originally, I was like, thread, and that made me think of Aemon's like face getting stitched back together. But it could mean the dance of dragons, because what a lot of people don't know is like this was like prequel. This whole first season was prequel. Shit's about to go down these next couple of seasons, and Greens,
because it's basically coming up to where there's no more dragons.
Yes. And Greens is obviously Alicent and her people, Hightower, Greens, and then the Blacks are basically the Targaryens because they're black. The only other thing I want to mention that she said was the last ring has no legs at all. A lot of people think she's talking about Bronn because he can't fucking walk and he's king and it's like the last ring. Could be, possibly so. She's definitely seen some things, and obviously when we get to the later episodes, she even says other shit that's kind of just like, But other than that, episodes keep getting better and better. I don't even know which was the worst episode of this season or which was the weakest. Episodes keep getting fucking better and better, and I appreciate that. I like the world that they built. It sucks because I heard it's going to take 2 years to make season 2.
Damn.
Yeah. That's what I heard. I know it's going to be like December 2025. Just like, what the fuck, guys? Come on. I guess there's Halo and The Witcher and all that.
There's a lot.
Yeah. But
even the Witcher spinoff with the elves.
Oh, well, all right. Didn't know about that. Other than that, though, anything you want to add?
No.
All right, cool. Ladies and
Happy New Beer, if anything. No.
Hell yeah. Let's Happy New Beer. Shit.
I finished mine, actually.
Have a
La Fifi.
But ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito.
We are the
Carbonation Conversation.
Reviewing that Hot D episode 7. And
Drift mark.
And if you like the music in the background, you like the editing, which you will never do, check out MoBeats89 on all platforms just to see his work. And if you want to hit him up directly, put an @Gmail at the end of that shit. At the end of the day, I'm having a good time with one of my best friends. But you know what I'm not doing? I am not drinking and driving.
But we're drinking and vibing.
Peace.